Hello and welcome back to SCG Atlanta. I am Nick Miller on the sideboard alongside Chris Sanchez. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent, It's been a good day.
Chris is 7-0 right now, running Naya Auras, a deck that has definitely popped up today in this tournament. I've seen it all over the floor. But Chris, you are 7-0 with it.
Yeah.
You have a couple of interesting card choices here. I'll go over the deck real quick and then we'll dive into the specifics.
Okay.
You've got your Glade Cover Scouts and your Witch Stalkers, and then you suit them up. With enchantments like Ethereal Armor, Madcap Skills, and then you have what I think is the greatest interaction is the Chain to the Rocks pumping Ethereal Armor while sustaining thing.
Absolutely.
Explain to me why you chose to play Naya Auras today.
I chose Naya Aura originally because I was playing green-white aggro, and it had a lot of the same feel, except mono black would blow out the creatures, and then mono red would just have so much burn I could never overcome it. So I had played an IQ a couple weeks ago and slid in Witch Stalkers and the Unflinching Courage to get around that. And it took me to a top 8, but ultimately Mono Black had just enough answers for me.
Right.
So when I came to the tournament today, I really wanted to shift into this because it had more hexproof and more resilience than anything I've seen.
And it's interesting because with the boon of green-red and Jund monsters, the black decks, specifically Mono Black, has to alter its removal suite, which means not as many Devour Fleshes running around, which means playing a 1-drop and suiting it up is a lot more viable now.
Yes.
Now, an interesting choice I've seen that, I think Michael Majors was playing this deck, as is a few other people. You have Gore Clan Rampagers, 3 of them.
Yes.
How has that card worked out for you in this deck?
It's been fantastic. It's a wonderful finisher. I've hardly ever cast it as a creature unless I'm just wiped out of resources, but it has been an excellent finishing card to be able to, one, trample over and get +4/+4. It's just been invaluable.
You've been using it mostly to kill like planeswalkers or just to kill them?
Just to kill them. Most of the planeswalkers I've ignored because they don't do enough interaction with the deck to do it. If I put any creature with Unflinching Courage and I just double pump, put 2 Gore Clans on it, it's almost over. I'll do 10 points of damage in a turn and they can't recover.
Yeah, I think Unflinching Courage is really a just kind of overlooked card right now because so many decks are just intending on racing, and don't really have all of the removal.
Right.
Put it on a guy that can never be targeted, just out racing.
And it's deadly, and I've decided to play 4 of them in the deck so that I consistently hit it all the time.
Yeah. That's another thing I've seen. A lot of people are varying on the numbers of Unflinching Courage, but 4
is a solid number because you consistently put it on these 2 creatures, the Scout and the Witch Stalker, all the time. It's a consistent move.
Now you also have Selesnya Charm and Boros Charm. Explain to me why you have 4 Selesnya Charm and 3 Boros.
Okay.
Or was it the other way?
No, I have 4 Selesnya and 3 Boros. I've seen mix and match of both of those cards. By playing the green-white, I got to see the versatility of the Selesnya Charm. By far, the exiling a target creature 5 or greater, because of all the red-green monsters, the mono blacks, flyers, it has just been perfect. So I use it as a defensive card more than anything. And at times, if I'm out of creature, it gives me that as well. The Boros Charm definitely needs to be at least at 3 because the indestructibility, the 4 damage to the opponent, or the double strike. All 3 of those have been key throughout the whole day.
Yeah, when this card was spoiled, Boros Charm, the indestructibility and the 4 damage were emphasized, but everyone realized that you couldn't really utilize the double strike. But with the auras, 4 damage isn't as much as this card can tap out for anymore.
Absolutely.
So that's great.
Consistently throughout the day, you put a Glade Cover Scout with any of the enchantments, you're in deadly range between having the Gore Clan and the Boros Charm throughout the entire time. It's on a clock from the moment you say go.
Now the sideboard has one card that is just, I haven't seen in any sideboards, a Dragon Maze Common Mending Touch.
Yes.
How many blowouts have you gotten with this card today?
To be honest, I've played Control throughout the day, but Mending Touch hadn't been the key number I was going for. Right. I put 4 Skylashers to deal with the mono blue, the controls, because that actually has been the stronger of the 2. Well, as I've gone throughout the day, I've had to deal with more and more of the verdicts or board wipe, so I now bring in the 4 Skylashers and the 2 Mending Touch, and that interaction with the Boros Charm is just too much for any control deck to handle. I just won the last match by trying to Boros Charm. They countered the Charm, but I used the Mending Touch to keep a Witch Stalker with a Courage in play, and it just went to town from there on out.
And you said 4 Skylashers, right?
Yes.
Now that's aggressive, but also,
absolutely.
I think it's often overlooked because it's great against mono blue, but the extra splash damage it has against the Esper and the blue-white control decks for Azorius Charm, Detention Sphere, stuff like that really shines.
Yeah.
And then Fiendslayer Paladin. Have you been bringing these guys in a lot?
Anytime I play mono red, I haven't had to face any mono black yet today, but mono red I've faced several times, and I've brought him in each time. He can't be targeted, and the extra lifelink just goes very well with everything else I'm doing.
All right.
So that's why I've only went to 2 on the side, just to give me an extra edge on them.
And of course you got Mizium Mortars and Glare Heresy to deal with other problem cards.
Absolutely.
Seems like Blood Baron would be pretty tough to get through in this deck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Blood Baron and the 4/4 Dragon.
Right.
You know, the pro white on there. There's nothing. Everything I have has white with the chains, with the Selesnya charms. I can't touch it. So the Mizium Mortars are specifically for him because he is the card that blew out the green white all the time.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop it. So I brought the Mortars for him.
So 7-0 so far. If you would suggest this deck to anyone, are there any changes you would make so far, or what you have right now?
No.
Great.
It was great. I would definitely play this again. The only card that may change someday is the Voice of Resurgence. As powerful as the card is, it doesn't really add to the synergy of the deck, but it's a great defensive card. It keeps everybody at sorcery speed. There's lots of people playing the Lion instead. It's either or. I've enjoyed playing it. I wouldn't change anything.
All right. Well, 7-0, a few wins away and a draw. You're in the top 8, so I'm glad you sat down with me, and I'm glad you're doing well with the deck that I would like to play. You know, punish them.
Absolutely. Will do.
For Chris Sanchez, I'm Nick Miller here in the sideboard. Stay tuned for more action at SCG Atlanta.